morning, Ramon. Good morning, Team Steam. Happy 1-year anniversary to Tony's Picks multi-capper site. We made it officially 1 year. 1 year ago today, I was at Universal Studios because it was crazy. I was on vacation when I got the call. Hey, we're going live today. I was like, oh crap, here we go. All right.
Oh, okay. I thought you ran into the general manager there or something, and
well, I did, right? So I was in LA, and that's where he lives. And he's like, "Hey, I'll meet you for lunch," and I'm like, "Well, I'm at Disneyland and Universal Studios, so maybe I'll catch you on Zoom later." So that's what we did. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it's time to go live. Welcome everybody to the Morning Steam. Year number 2 at Tony'sPicks.com, I guess, begins today. Welcome to everyone filing in the chat. Hey, welcome to everyone stuck in airports right now. You're not going anywhere. Well, I guess the flights have finally resumed.
Oh, have they?
Massive outage this morning that grounded every domestic takeoff for the last 3 hours. But I guess they figured out that, using Commodore 64s to run the airline system doesn't work anymore, so
that's funny.
Don't blame the Russians just yet, Rapper Capper. Everybody, hello, welcome, nice to see you all in here. Filing in, we'll get settled in, let people get in here, and just say hello to everyone. Mindy coming into the chat for a great day where we'll cover NBA basketball. College basketball might be our featured attraction really today.
Right.
And hockey as well. We'll start rolling with some NFL tomorrow. We might do 1 or 2 games and kind of straggle it out here towards the weekend as we get ready for those big playoff games this week. So hello to everyone in the chat. Team Steam, you guys did it. Another winning day. Back on track with winners. No doubt about it, Mindy. It was a good day for Team Steam over. We'll take a look in a moment at Tony'sPicks.com. But let's just start saying hello to everyone in the chat. Ron was the number 1 here.
Congrats, Ron.
Is here today. KG's pretty happy with what's going on with the picks. I am as well. Good to see everyone coming in. Rapper Capper is indeed here. And any other regulars yet? Just us? So.
Oh, we got some coming in.
Okay.
Thurman, Butterscotch, a.k.a. Mark, Blake.
Yeah.
We're looking good.
Great to see all the regulars so far, and I don't know, maybe we will get can't put all those flights in the air right away. So hey, let us know if you're watching from an airport right now, stuck waiting for a 3-hour delay. As the massive outage grounded all the flights this morning, and was the big news, I guess, around the country this morning. But all systems are go. I guess they got every computer plugged in, or they fixed their software or whatever. The delays were all over, Ron. The whole country was ground. There were no takeoffs for I must have 3 hours. When I woke up, that was like the first thing I saw on the headlines when I was turning on my basketball, and saw that was going on. So I kind of just had it over here. But just within the last couple of minutes, they lifted that ground. I don't know what they were calling it, ground freeze or something. So, but if you're watching from an airport, let us know. Maybe you're watching us from inside a plane, waiting for 3 more hours.
I hope not. That's like my worst fear, to be on a plane for hours on end that they won't let you
moving,
off.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough when you're stuck in it for like 20 minutes and you're like, oh, Jesus, can't we get this thing going? So let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com before we get the show started. See how we did, because we know what we did. It was Team Steam on top yesterday with a 9-5-1 record, and Mindy Hahn was number 2. It's not, she wasn't duplicating the plays. Right. Basically, she's 17-9 yesterday, and I don't know, Mindy. I've got blown up my. You're telling me about bad beats. I don't know if I want to hear
Right. I
it.
figured you didn't want to hear me rant about my Drake under for I've had 13 overtime or underplays that have gone into overtime where I've gotten beat in overtime. So it's a little frustrating to, be on the side. And no one here at my house wants to hear me rant. So I'm like, hey, Ramon, can you believe this happened again? He's like, Mindy, shut up. I don't blame him.
Well, hey, great picks
Yeah.
yesterday for Team Steam. You see it there. Another winning day. Want to win them all. 9-5-1. Mindy, I told you, when we did communicate earlier in the card, I'm like, wow, we might have because we started off hotter than that. Let me tell you, we started off. I don't know, might have been like 7-1 or something.
Yeah.
And we kind of tailed off there with the hockey. At the end, we really tanked it a little bit on the West Coast hockey a little bit, but we had winners with Vancouver and Pittsburgh over. We had the Devils over the Canes as a dog. That was good. Good, good, good. We had the Stars and the Islanders. They were 1-1 through regulation, final 2-1. And then the West Coast didn't go too well, but that accounted for 40% of our losses. So,
but how about that Kraken? You were on them, Ramon. You were on the Kraken.
Yeah, we did it with. I did it with the Kraken. I had some other winner. I went 6-4 with the NHL freebies. Listen to this, Mindy. All 10 games yesterday. You talk about the period scoring, about the derivatives a little bit, and how maybe you'd like to study it a little more. All 10 games went over 1.5 goals in the first period yesterday. All 10.
Really?
All 10 of them. So that's something to look into maybe tonight as well. I don't know. There's only 4 games, but just an interesting note yesterday. So yeah, pretty decent day. 6-4 was my. I'm talking about my video picks, and of course those include the Team Steam picks. So I know you had some other winners in there as well. So okay,
look
and
at that Team Steam last 7 days up there on the leaderboard.
That's right. Look at that too. Yeah, number 1 right there for Team Steam. You guys are number 1 right now on the last 7 days. Mindy, number 2 last 30 days there, and Tiffany tops for the year so far through 10 days, and we're up there profitable as well. So I don't see somebody else on anywhere on that list. But, work on that. I went 4-4 in my premiums yesterday. Team Steam winners, Pistons and Sixers over. That was also a winner. We also had the Magic. Came back with the Magic yesterday, Mindy, despite that embarrassing loss that they had. They did come back and fight back very hard in the next day. So also did pretty well with our, little spontaneous picks, I believe, when we were getting peppered a little bit to add some plays. How about Florida and LSU under? We came through with that one. That we were asked to comment on that game. We also were asked to comment on the fly Georgia Tech and Notre Dame, and we said take Georgia Tech, and they also were able to get that cover. So that added to our total a little bit. Temple didn't hang on. They got a big lead up against Tulsa, the worst spread team in the country. I think that one ended up to be a push. Let us know if anybody else might have gotten a win or maybe a loss. Let us know on that one. But we also had a good win with DePaul. Villanova was a flop yesterday on the road in that one. And then late, what did we get on that Nevada? Did we actually get 9.5 with Nevada?
I don't know. Let's see if I have it on here.
Well, I see it's only one push, and I know that the Temple game was a push. Let us know what you guys got on Nevada in the chat yesterday, because
we got 9.5.
We got 9.5 early. Did everybody get 9.5? I hope yesterday. So let us know in the chat. But a lot of people ended up, I believe, with some pushes in that game. Anyone, who might have waited a little bit, I think that might have happened there. So good to see everyone there in the chat. And we got some more coming in. John is here today with his coffee and locks. Curtis is rolling in as well.
Yeah, and I'll try to get Tiffany on the show. I think she's only been on what, twice. So I'll have to, I'll have to get her to do more. I always try.
Just to mention real quick, there's let's see. Well, we'll get to it. Some steam has come in, but we're going to cover these games. We have 8 college games today, most we've had, I think. But again, we're getting to that time of year where you're going to see a little bit more from us on the college card, and we got great matchups today, including the one that I think a lot of college basketball fans. You got to be really, I don't want to say hardcore fans, but there's some big matchups. But there's one matchup tonight that's a mid-major matchup that really is one of the best matchups of the year. I think that a lot of hardcore basketball fans might be looking forward to. Anybody in the chat want to guess which game I'm talking about? I'll let you know if you're right. And I'm not talking about the Big Six conferences, certainly. This one's a great game that is in a mid-major, and I think everyone might know if they know what's coming up. So, anyways, check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. You see the leaderboards there a little bit there on the homepage, and of course, coming up today, all the picks are going to be rolling in with the best bets. Soccer picks from Paul up there. Ben's got a best bet in the NCAA. Collins also a college best bet. And you can get all our picks on the pick ticker there. You see them all in chronological order there. Mindy's got action in the NHL, in the NBA as well. So, all right. Don't forget our our multi-sport packs as well. Ben and Collins are all locked and loaded today. Collins has a 3-pack up there for 30, and Ben's got a 3-pack up there for 35. And appreciate those guys very much. So, all right, click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all of our premium pick packages, including the morning steam right there on top. We're going to give you all the picks right now, free picks with Mindy and I and you guys in the chat. Get ready for it. And if you missed the show or don't want to go back and watch on YouTube, don't have time to fiddle around with the little red bar, you can subscribe to the picks, and it does Mindy and I good because it makes a little money for us and keeps the show on going here in year number 2 of
Here we go.
Picks. Of the website. I mean, Tony's Picks has been around a long time, but
Yeah.
only 1 year ago was it converted into this type of site with our team of cappers. There, been a few. They've come and gone, but basically the bulk of them have been around here, going on for a year now. So. All right, we'll get rolling. Nobody wants to hear any more advertisement. We're ready. We got everyone ready to go. No, KG wasn't Indiana Penn State. In fact, I don't think that made our card today, actually.
It didn't, but, of course.
Is Carl? Did I miss Carl?
He's here. Yep. So he's the one. He came in and got us, rolling there on those late plays.
Yep, and that added to our winning total yesterday. Right. I don't know if I don't know how many there were, and I don't think we agreed on all. Not all of them. 2 winners. I don't know. Did we have a loser in that group at all, or no. Not sure? Or we just went.
It was Seton Hall, Georgia Tech, and LSU, Florida under, and we won all of those. So on our by the fly picks, we got 3 winners.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought Seton Hall, Georgetown. I thought we lost that one, but no.
Oh, did over we? The over 141? Oh, I was thinking maybe just Seton Hall that covered. So that could be my fault.
No, I think we might have had a loss there. But again, 9 and 5. I mean, come on. If we could do that every day, we'd have. And let's see if we can get our record today. I don't know if we will, but we'll see.
You say that every day.
I don't know. Well, I mean, Norton, or the natural growth would say that maybe we should. So we got 2 dozen. And
we're looking for 71. So be on the lookout.
Okay, I thought it was really 71. Is it? I thought it was 75 or something. Okay, whatever it is.
71 yesterday, so we'll see.
Okay, 71 it is. All right. Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah, Virginia really should have known better. I got carried away with Caleb Love yesterday. Anybody go back and watch that commercial? They like it. I thought it was. I think it's a cool commercial. Okay, 2 dozen are in. I think that's good enough to start the show. Call up my notes here. Be ready. 2 phones were the notes. All right. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 20%. And let's get ready with the free picks rapid fire.
All right, let's do it.
Starting in the NBA with a sizable card here. And we've seen action already. I'll let you know these lines on here probably a couple hours old. So when I update the lines, you'll be getting a refreshed line from about 2 hours. So you can see how the line has moved. And maybe I can remember to tell you which games have been kind of steamy on the site. And starts off with the first game, which has some steam to report. You see there, the Wizards were favored when I typed these in by about 1 point. But right now, the Bulls are favored by 1.5. They took steam, and the total is now 229.5 just on a regular old move. But the Bulls have moved to the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, Wizards allowing 127 over the last 3 games here. Bulls have scored, quite a bit, 121 over their last 3 games here. I'm going to take a look at that total over, so I don't mind getting an extra point here. Over 10-3, Bulls last 13, following in against the spread win over 6-1, the Wizards last 7 home games here as well. We'll be taking the over.
Okay, Mindy says go over 229.5. I don't know if we saw, the Wizards, whether or not their last, in that last game, obviously a little bit of a flub. And then where do they stand right now? Scott says he likes that steam today. Got to go with the Bulls, and the over is, dare I say, a lock. We don't use the L word on this show, do we?
Looking for locks.
All right. Well, if it's a lock, I'll do it. I was already leaning over. I'm kidding you as far as, Carl says all his books are up at 2:30 right now. Let me take a look at some of the books that I like to look at. Yeah, I'm showing several books are at 2:30 right now. So I'd say at least half of them. The major online sports book in the country is currently sitting at 229.5, but you have a couple of major offshores at 230. You got some Las Vegas books here at 230. So the fact that it got steamed over, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on the over with you, Mindy. Anybody else want to play the over with us? Scott says poor defense around the perimeter with these teams. So that sounds like a bit of an agreement. And he did say over was a lock. So, okay, Mindy, we're 1 for 1. We're feeling good. I don't know what it is. Is it 7 of the last 8 days have been winning days? Something like that now?
We'll take it.
Okay. And we're going over with the Bulls and the Wizards to get us started here today on the show. Wonder what the over/under is on consensus plays here today.
Blake usually gives us that.
The Wolves and the Pistons here. The Wolves and the Pistons have seen steam to the over in this one. It's all the way. Listen to this. So it got steamed over, went all the way up to 232.5, is all the way back down to 230. So nobody was buying on that necessarily. So what do you think in this one, Mindy, with the Wolves? They're 6.5 and 230.
Well, I think it's going to go over. The Pistons have lost 3 games in a row now, allowing 130 in each of those games. Over is 4-0. Timberwolves last 4 here as well, playing on some rest. I'll take the over.
I gotta agree with you, Mindy. Scotch is going over. I don't know if I don't want to seem like I'm getting greedy because we are, in a pretty strong run of late. So why not just tag along with Mindy? She's the one with all those winners on top of the leaderboard. So why not just agree with her every time?
Sure.
Ron did have a play on the last game up there in the chat. Sorry about that, Ron. So Blake says, hey, he's liking the consensus action right now. And again, it's not just Mindy and I, it's you guys as well. So we do like to see a little bit of support. But I just think Detroit right now with their if Pistons get Bogdanovich back, Ron says he wouldn't mind Pistons plus the point because the Piston right when Bogdo was out, look what happened. That last game was a complete disaster, right? They got absolutely smashed. So let's take a look maybe and see what the injury report says currently heading in to the games. It's going to be listed as questionable in this one. The Detroit injury list is peppered with a few questionables in this one. Anthony Edwards, questionable for Minnesota. That's a pretty big ask if he's going to be in or out. So that does put a little bit of pressure on this total there. I don't know if the fact that it came back down indicates that, he might be questionable in this one. So not sure. But yeah, I mean, that was just Ron said they got a murder beat last night by the Sixers in that one. Man, I don't even know what the Sixers ended up with. Was it 141, 147, something like that? I mean, I just lost track. They were scoring so many points. So Scott says he doesn't mind Minnesota here. Again, Anthony Edwards, kind of a key player, but you are playing the Detroit Pistons. Pistons 13-6 to the over at home. Pretty strong trend going over last night. So Ron did say he liked that cover last night with Philly. I rode with him too in a little private action myself. But boy, did that thing go through the roof, man. That thing eventually, once Embiid was in, the line on the game went up to like 15 points. It didn't matter. It could have been 25 points, I think, yesterday. So he got it done. But let's go over in this one, 230. I think we've got room there now, especially if like I said, it got steamed up. It went all the way up to 232.5 as far as I could read the market. And, it opened about 228.5, 229. But, I don't know, Mindy, 234 seems pretty realistic here in this one. So let's go over.
Sounds good.
Go with 2 plays so far. We could just go with 2 plays and win them all. We wouldn't have to look at every game.
Right.
But we can't go 1-1. Dare we to go 1-1? The Bucks and the Hawks here. The Bucks are down to a 2-point favorite. Hawks are definitely taking a little bit of action here. Not necessarily steam, but there is steam that came in on the over. And now this one, Mindy, which was, I believe, opened as low as I want to say 232. It's now 236, and I'm showing a book out here in Vegas just 10 minutes away is at 237.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Hawks here in this one. They're putting up 115 a game. Bucks 112 here still. Trying to catch up with them though. Bucks been playing better as of late. Hawks though, 16-5 in their last 21 home games versus a team with a winning record. I'm going to take the Hawks at home plus.
All right, Mindy's going to take the Hawks. Look, the moves on the Hawks. Make no mistake here. Man, they do trouble me a little bit. I mean, no doubt the Bucks. We know who the better team here is, but Ron's going to be on the Bucks here in this one. But again, that move looks to be on the Hawks a little bit. So I don't know. We're not going to have an agreement here. I'm not going to disagree. Not necessarily making the Bucks a premium or anything at this point, but I'm going to say the adjustment's been a little bit too far in this one. I mean, 232. I was thinking maybe that was. I was still kind of thinking under, but I was like, this is probably some of these games. Look at Scotch has a comment here. Milwaukee, the value play with Holiday playing. Hawks. Oh no, Hawks are at home in this one, Scotch. This one's at Atlanta, so let's check the injury report though. Capella still out. and Ibaka will be out of this one for the Bucks. So let's take a look. Yeah. I'm going to be on too big of an adjustment for me, Mindy. I'm going to go on the under in this game. I mean, we know Milwaukee's a massive under team on the road, 6-13 to the under this season. Atlanta does a trend to the over this season, 23-17 to the over. But note they are 9-10 to the under at home. It's not a big trend, but it's a big discrepancy
Enough.
from
Yeah.
what they are in general. So I'm going to go under. I think it's a pretty big adjustment here in this one. I'm going to go under 236.5. All right, couple of plays there for you. Pelicans and Celtics. Celtics 9.5, and the total here is 231. This one did get steamed over from a total of 229.5.
Yeah, I also like the over in this one today. Celtics ranked second in points here. Pelicans fourth. Pelicans putting up 132 in that last game versus the Wizards. I mean, they really like to score against the Wizards, Ramon. I think we pointed that out. I mean, whenever you want 130 by the Pelicans, just have them play the Wizards, I guess. Over 6-1 Pelicans last 7 road games here. Taking the over.
I'm not scared. I'm taking the over with you in this one with the Pelicans and the Celtics. We've seen what the Celtics can do. And if you think about, in general, they're just a 50-50 team, half over, half under. At home, 14-7 to the over at home. Meanwhile, the Pelicans, they've been a pretty massive over this year, 14-5 on the road, including, now get this, I know that obviously the situation we all know with the Pelicans currently revolving their injury situation with Zion and Ingram, still out and no sign of them returning right now. But I will note, and granted, we've seen Ingram out now for basically a month, and Zion out for a week. But in games at New Orleans has been an underdog, 14-4 to the over. So that doesn't necessarily reflect all the games because I mean they were certainly dogs when they've had their good players in as well. But I think that's a pretty interesting indication there that we know that Zion's a pretty big force. Hey, Angel Reyes is here, and he's got Pelicans plus these points. I'm not sure right now. I can get together with you on that, but he does say that Celtics will win, and then Pelicans get the money. Blake's going to be on the Pelicans too. I think Ron's saying he does like the over a lot in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Carl, I think, was just updating us on the total. I don't know if
Right.
he's got a pick there in this one. And Scotch says he likes the over and can't necessarily decide on the side. I don't know. The Celtics, to me, I mean, they are getting numbers still at home. I would probably favor the Celtics, but I definitely like the over in this one. So, yeah, no, I get it, Scotch. Yep, San Antonio came in. I think we actually – trying to think if we did. We're on. I know a lot of you were on San Antonio in that game. So when they played Boston, but we're gonna go over. We got 3 picks so far,
All right.
and I get a little worried. I mean, not
No,
worried. I shouldn't.
Don't get worried.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Trust our system, Ramon. Trust the system.
Angel says Celtics first half for sure. They always get out to those great starts. So. Okay, no, I mean, look, because the results are speaking for themselves. I shouldn't be worried at all.
Right.
Just listen to Mindy and nod my head yes. Pacers and the Celtics here. I'm sorry, Pacers and the Knicks. The Knicks graphics, right? Knicks 4.5, 229.5 now. This definitely got steamed up from the 227.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to the under 228 in this one. Both these 10s have been kind of trending what's that?
It's getting better than that.
Oh, good. 229. So, hey, line movement's kind of all in my favor here today. Couldn't really decide here, on a side. It's one of those I tend to kind of lean maybe to the Pacers, but I think the Knicks have just been playing really well as of late. Can't really decide. So yeah, I'm going to take the under here today.
See everybody in the chat coming in on the Pacers. Man, the Pacers are really turning out to be a really exciting team with their two young stars, man. I mean, who wouldn't want to kind of own some stock in the Pacers right now? Uh, you know, they're all heart. We know that. You know, with their with Halliburton, with Matherin, these guys are just wow. They're exciting to watch right now. I mean, the Pacers, you know, playoff. No, there's no stopping this team as far as they're going to make the playoffs. This is no fluke, right, Mindy? They've just playing outstanding. I mean, actually, you know, it's funny going into this game, right? They have the better record than the Knicks, and we know the Knicks
Crazy.
have been playing well. Now it's in on the road, so Blake does like the under here with you, Mindy. Again, the steam came in on the over, so getting a good price here, but I can't go against the Pacers in this one. I've got to have more Pacers. I can't get enough of these guys right now. They're one of my favorite teams to watch, especially when they're down 10 and you got them +7 and you know they're going to come through. They're
Right.
+4.5 here. They're probably going to come through. They might. They're playing so good, man. I might even sprinkle the money line on this one with the Pacers right now. Um, I don't know. It might be my favorite team going. Look, the Knicks are 7-12-2 against the spread at home, and the Pacers have covered 8 out of their last 10 games. So Ron's even got a prop tonight on Halliburton. He says Angel likes this team a lot too. So Pacers a great cover team, says Scotch. So I'm on the Pacers. Mindy's going to be on the under here in this one. I'm definitely rewatching that game.
Right.
Probably not watch too much of this game. Hopefully, we got crunch time. This looks like a schedule ideal for
I'll have
crunch
to check out the
time.
crunch time. I haven't been able to find it
No,
yet.
it wasn't on. You know, like it wasn't on yesterday. The schedule's got to be kind of like this. I think tonight
Do they have a schedule that they put out
they
on?
don't really. That's what
Okay.
one of the big things. Like I've been looking for, trying to figure out when it's on, because but people are having the same kind of question marks in the NBA. Unless if anybody is really into the show like I am, maybe you guys can help me. Maybe you do know where the schedule is because I've actually, you know, like been on Twitter, like doing little Twitter searches a little bit in the and the people are asking the same questions I
Oh,
am.
really?
Like, hey NBA, can we get a schedule? It seems like you put this show on whenever you want or whatever. And um, like I said, the cool thing about it is it kind of is like, even though it's an NBA produced show, the analysts usually talk about it from a gambling perspective. So that's fun. Okay. Looks like Ron here. I don't know if Ron, yeah, looks like Ron's talking about this game. Spurs and Grizzlies. Grizzlies 13 and a half. And the total here is 238. I don't really have any steam, I don't think, to report in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try an under here, though, in this one. I know the Grizzlies have been putting up a ton of points. They rank 8th at 116. Spurs, on the other hand, 18th. Under is, though, 6-1. Grizzlies last 7 here, playing on some days rest. So I'm going to go ahead and go under that 239, I don't know, and a half ish.
Yeah, yep. Well, down to 238 actually, Mindy, in this
Okay.
one. So looks like the move's kind of going with you a little bit on this one. Can't have them all go your way.
What?
But Carl does say he says
I
that
think today's my day, Ramon.
he
Maybe they
wants,
all could. Oh, except
Carl
for
does want to go against you, but he's got that 238 and a half. But Blake is with you on the under in this one. Scott says, watch out for that high pace. Is it high pace with San Antonio or just bad D? Little both, no doubt about it. I think Ron was talking about this game when I popped it up there, that 239.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
I'm worried. You see the chat is mixed. I think Minnie and I are kind of mixed on this one as well because I'm concerned that Memphis might put up a big number here tonight. But Scotch both, not only this game but the one before it as well because the lines were about the same and. He likes the same pick in the two games, so you just try to put him right in the middle. And but I think for me, then I'll defer to the side, and I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies right now in this one. I'm gonna roll with them minus a big number here. Maybe I can get 13 and a half. It looks like 14 at some places, so I'll put 14. But it looks like Ja is going to be probable with that thigh problem, and he'll be in there in this one. So we saw last game; it didn't matter, right?
Right.
With Ja was out and they still crushed. That's a great sign and it went way over too, if I'm not mistaken. And it's funny because you think of you're missing Ja, and oh well, maybe it'll go under. But remember, Mindy, and everybody's kind of seen it now when Ja can waste uh, 10 seconds in the backcourt being a goofball with the ball on the ground and the clock running and nobody guarding him. So the backcourt, the backcourt clock doesn't start either. And then the defender had to run all the way up and start guarding him, and then he picked up the ball. I don't know if you saw that I think it was over the weekend.
I did not see that, but
What
that
happened
sounds fun.
was, so who are they playing, guys? Trying to remember, but let me see if I can recall my memory on that. It might have been the game. Maybe it was the game against. Maybe it was. No, I'm not sure. Maybe it was the Charlotte game, maybe even a week ago. But uh, they inbounded the ball, and they just kind of Ja told them to roll the ball in barely, and the clock doesn't start if you're not getting guarded. So he stood there for about 8 to 10 seconds with the ball just on the ground. It was Charlotte. It was definitely Charlotte because the fans were booing, but he's just standing there like, "Hey, come and get me." I could just let this clock run. And finally, a defender had to run across the court, start to guard him. He picks up the ball, and then action resumes. But it was kind of an interesting or a unique play. I don't know. It was helping the under a little bit there for a little bit. That game ended up uh, being 131-107. Memphis ended up crushing them anyways. But yeah, KG said it was the Charlotte game. Yep. I remember it now because those Charlotte fans were booing. Okay, so Mindy's going to be on the under, and I'm going to take Memphis. I'm going to I'll say 14. I know there's some 13 and a halves out there, but I'm going to lay it, and I'll just take the
lumps.
Yeah. I like to, because here's the thing, when you see a lot of cappers, and I'm not saying I'm special or anything, or I'm, different than others, but why not, as a public capper, a lot of them will just look for the best line. And I don't have a problem with that because everyone should look for the best lines, and you should too. But as a public capper, if you give yourself the worst line, then when your viewers, if you will, go to see the line at a lower line, then they're going to be like, you know what? This is even a better line than what the capper was saying. And so that's why I always, on free plays and stuff like that, I'm always going to give kind of the worst line for me if there's a little bit of variance between them like this in this situation. So on the screen, we'll leave it up there, 13 and a half. Okay, Rockets and the Kings here in this one, Mindy. And I'm showing that I might have missed one. Sorry, let me go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to keep these in
Nuggets.
Chronological order here. Yeah, Suns and Nuggets. I just skipped it entirely. I just didn't even enter it in. Bad producer. But I'll tell you that the Nuggets are a 12.5-point favorite, and the total here is 226. It was steamed to the under from 227.
Yeah, I couldn't find a line on this one at all this morning when
maybe that's what I did.
Doing work, So I just kind of looked at the side here. I haven't looked at the total really at all. But I think I'm just going to go with the Suns here. Nuggets won their last one, 122-109 against the Lakers. Sun beat the Warriors, as we know, on the road, 125, 113 last night. Nuggets put up 117 points a game. Suns 113. The Nuggets are the way better team here, I think, in this one. But, geez, that spread's too big for me. I think I'm going to take the Suns here again.
Okay, try the Suns again. What an effort last night by the Suns. They really, hats off to the Suns. Everybody wanted to count them out, with Curry coming back, looked like, oh, this is going to be, he's back. The Suns are, free falling still. And what happened? The Suns went out and just won the game.
Well, it also looked like it was going to be a big under total when they only put up, 50 in the, the first quarter there. I was like, man, this is really trending under. And then all of a sudden, there they go, shooting threes, getting it done.
Yeah, great job. So, Curtis on the over here. Ron says Denver and under. Me and Ron are right aligned in this one. I'll tell you that right now. Here's maybe what I was experiencing in my error on the graphic a little bit, or like Mindy said, it was late to get fully on the board too. But note the time change, if I'm not mistaken. This one was originally scheduled for 9:10 Eastern, 8:10 Mindy, 6:10 Pacific, but now it's going to be 10:10 Eastern, 9:10 Mindy, and 7:10 Pacific. So note the time change in this one. We're in the right order as far as the Las Vegas rotation. So, but this game was originally scheduled for it moved up with basically 1 hour. So maybe it's a television situation tonight or so. And all right, we got some plays there. Mindy, I'm going to give you my play, but Mindy's going to take Phoenix. I'm not feeling it necessarily. I think that was a pretty high moment for the Suns right now, considering, and we don't see their players. We don't expect those guys to be back in tonight.
All the no-namers.
I think it was probably, hopefully they got off on their flights. Hopefully these guys weren't troubled. All these teams traveling maybe for the back-to-backs. Again, I mean, the flights were really just delayed this morning, so I'm sure they got out of town in plenty of time, just making fun of it. Chris Paul is listed as questionable for the game tonight, but still no Booker, of course, and of course DeAndre Ayton also suffering right now from an injury. So that was just a great job. Really, it was D. Lee who came through, the former Warrior. That was a kind of a neat thing for him. He was given his championship ring from Steph Curry before the game, and had his little baby there and had a big shiny world championship ring, and then went out and he looked like the world champion player last night. Good job, D. Lee, in that one. But tonight I'm going to go with I'm going with the under, Mindy, by the way.
All right.
My pick in this one in Phoenix and Denver. We know Denver plays pretty solid at home to the under, 7-12 and 1 to the under at home this season. And I've got the Nuggets coming in, great job, but it's going to be tough, I think, for them. But you're getting all those points, no problem there. 12.5 points. I'll go with the under. Mindy's going to be on Phoenix to have another good one. Ron's going to be on Denver here to cover. We already said Curtis on the over, and Scotch with a note here. All right. Is that it? Rodney, hey, good to see Rodney in here today. Suns 1-4 against the spread with no days rest. Denver on a little bit of a streak at home. All right. And I got the last game coming up with the Rockets and the Kings. I see Ron's comment on there, so we'll get that one ready. He's going to be on the Kings in this one. I kind of did a head fake on him there a little bit, but Rockets and the Kings here. I'm showing the Kings 9.5, and the total is up to 238. The reported steam actually came in on the under, so a little bit of maybe a little RLM here. I'm showing 9.5 and 238.
Yeah, I was looking to the under as well. I had it started at 239. What'd you say it was down to 236?
238.
Oh, 238. Okay. Rockets here ranked 28th in scoring, only score 109 per game. Kings are ranked first in scoring, as we all know, 119 per game. Rockets lost the last one, only scoring 96 against the Timberwolves. Under 4-1, Rockets last 5. Under 4-1, Kings last 5. I'll go under.
Like to say hello, Mindy. Welcome to Gregory Davenport here. I'm not sure we've had the pleasure. Thank you for joining us today, Gregory. Hopefully you've been a regular already and kind of chiming in a little bit. Well, we could give you a two-teamer right here. Mindy, you said under?
Yep.
So we could give them a two-teamer right here in this game, although I think we would rather recommend our consensus plays. Maybe we can all just recite them here at the end. We're not going to be in a consensus on this game, Mindy. So welcome to Gregory Davenport. Ron does come in with his full handicap now. He already told us he liked the Kings, and he likes the under here with you, Mindy. So if anything, maybe this is going to be the if Greg needs a two-teamer now, he might want two separate games, but this isn't premium consensus. I'm going with what Ron said here. I'm going to be on the Kings in this one. I'm going to lay the number here against the Rockets at 9.5. Wish it was 9, but let's lay it at 9.5. So that might be a little two-teamer, but we got a note here from Scotch. Rockets have given up. They've packed in. He's taken the Kings in this one. I feel bad for because I like the Rockets. I mean, I don't like them in covering spreads. I just kind of a fan of the Rockets franchise because you know why? Because they were in San Diego at one time.
So. It could have been.
Yes. But anyway, so Greg, I know you need a two-teamer. I will tell you that Mindy and I, we've been pretty hot of late. Maybe you've been around the show. Maybe you follow us a little bit, but just to let you know, we're 1-7 out of the last 8 days. Or so Ron said, which was 1.5. Yeah, we could play the money line at 425. But we do have 3 plays today in the NBA. It's going to be Bulls Wizards over, Timberwolves Pistons over, and Pelicans Celtics over. So how about a round robin? How about a little round robin, Greg?
Yeah, that'll work.
Those are our 3 plays, and we've been doing pretty well. So take a look at our website, tonyspick.com. You'll see all of our numbers over there as we have on the show here. So don't forget our premium picks, everybody. That's a look at basketball for today. 3 plays, Mindy. I thought we were going to go crazy a little bit, but
we reeled it in.
Steadied there, yeah. Yeah, maybe we're on a few different sides. That might be bad news for me because you've been hot on the boards over the last 7 days, 30 days. All right. College basketball. A great card of college basketball, man, and that's main board time for sure. There's an extra board, but interestingly, all the extra board games start at the same time today.
Right.
And there's a lot. I mean,
there is
at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and 4 Pacific. There's a ton.
Won't be bored tonight. That's for sure. Won't be bored.
There's a ton of college basketball all going off at the same time, including this one. Which usually this one's might be a little bit early, but that's the way they stagger the TV a little bit. But sometimes Arkansas games, go off 2 hours later than this. Alabama and Arkansas, and Alabama took the widely reported steam. I believe it was. Let me just check this. I believe it was Arkansas that took the early reported steam, and then it's come back to make Alabama a favorite here, if I'm not mistaken. So Arkansas took the initial move, but now I'm showing currently. Maybe you can go ahead and I got it here. Right now, it's a pick. It's pick them in 153.5. It's probably it should be.
Yeah, I'm going to actually take Alabama here today. I'm going to take them at the -1 or the pick, whatever you want to say. Alabama has the better offensive efficiency in this one. They play at one of the highest paces in the NCAA. I think they're going to be just too much for Arkansas today. Taking Alabama on the road as the pick'em favorite, upset dog, whichever.
Yeah, well, look, I get it. I mean, I think Alabama's been the team that's kind of made the money here so far this season, and I'm probably going to agree with you. I'm just going to take a little bit of look here. Crush says Arkansas. I don't know if it's an upset. I mean, it's a pick 'em. I get it, though.
If it's a +1, it's an upset, right?
Well, I don't know. I think I get though exactly what he's saying, because maybe the perception is that Alabama, is the better team, and maybe that's why it's a pick 'em at home, right? Because I don't know what you might factor in. Mindy, do you have on your number your home courts adjusted in your numbers, right? I mean,
Correct.
and it's not a standard three or any. Do you adjust for the quality of team or quality of home court edge that you see?
Again, yes, everything is adjusted regarding pace, regarding home play and not. I take out all of the, mid majors per se. I'm not going to put in, those, you know, what, uh, D2 schools or whatever you want to look at. Those aren't in there either. So yeah, everything is based off of home and aways, neutral courts. And again, the pace of play is factored in as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously,
Efficiency.
this is an excellent game. I mean, you got Alabama 13-2, Arkansas 12-3. Arkansas hasn't lost at home. Alabama hasn't lost on the road. Granted, it's only been 3 games. So, but again, I think Alabama. They've been a little bit better of the spread team. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that much, I think, in a pick'em game. But again, when you're measuring spread success, you're measuring success against the public perception. And in that case, you have an Alabama team that's gone 3-1 against the spread on the road so far, and 9-6 overall against the spread, while Arkansas just a little bit sub 500 against the spread so far. I'm worried about that team coming in Arkansas, but again, it looks like it's just bounced back and forth. I'm gonna agree with you, Minnie. I'm gonna take Alabama in this one to win this one on the road against Arkansas here. For me, Alabama did win the last meeting between the two back last February. In fact, it was the only meeting between the two teams last season, but it was 68-67. Alabama was a 5-point favorite in that one, and Alabama was at home. But I will go with you here. I do like what Scotch says here, though, about this total under. No, I agree with you about the pace of this game, but I really thought maybe high 140s, maybe they get to 150. Dave here. Hey, Dave. Dave's here. Everybody say hello. We know Dave's a regular, but I don't think we saw him in there yet on the chat. Is that like a map of like where, I don't want to say where Dave lives? Is that a map, or I don't know what that
To me,
is?
it looks like the side of a mountain, but I can't tell.
Okay, I thought it was like
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like I
satellite
can see,
view,
like
like
it
a
looks like
Google Maps or
a
something.
gulf. Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, well, let's do it, Vinny. We'll go on Alabama here in this one. This one should be a great game. I'm not really calling for a blowout. I think Alabama can get this win though against Arkansas. Should be a pretty awesome, pretty good game. Good game. All right. I don't think anybody got it right, Mindy. I don't think anybody called out the correct game. We got maybe one more comment here, real quick. Satellite image, New York Metro.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
How
Why didn't we get that?
I'm embarrassed. I mean, that's the New York Metro area. And I'm like, but maybe I could just blame my eye. I had to squint there.
Well, you are, all the way.
I did have it right. A satellite image of something. Just the biggest city in the world, in the country.
Right.
Okay. Here it is. You guys didn't get it right, but this has to be, I mean, look at all these games. Arkansas, Alabama, maybe that's the best game. This is the best. This is the game that I'm looking forward to the most on this schedule today. Charleston, my favorite team right now, Charleston. Out of 363, I like to watch Charleston. Now, this is a tough game. Maybe this winning streak will come to an end. I don't know. They're favored in this game right now by 3 points now, and the total 145. This is the game. I mean, Wilmington is ready. They know what's coming to town here. Charleston used to be one of the slowest teams around. Now they're one of the fastest. They're awesome to watch, Wendy. And Wilmington's pretty darn good too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an amazing game, like you said. Little tough for me to pick a side. I think it's going to be closer than I think what we expect, or maybe we do expect a close game, right? Especially where that spread lies. But I'm going to go over the 145 here. Both have great offenses and defenses. Charleston's tempo is 71 possessions per 40 minutes. Again, they rank third in tempo. St. John's has the highest, and that's at 74.1. So again, it's one of those that they really like to push the ball here. I just think they got a good feel for this game. They really move the ball. I'm rooting for Charleston, probably, like you said. But yeah, I think this one's gonna go over 145.
Yeah, in fact, I like Charleston, but I think the game's going to be so good that 3 points probably too many. I mean, right? They could win by 3 or 4, but they could easily lose the game by 2 or 3. It's just going to be an awesome game in my mind, and that's the way I feel. I mean, I agree with you. We're going to go over in this game for sure. The teams aren't necessarily just over what In fact, they both kind of trend to the under. Charlotte 6-10 to the under this season, really, because
They
they've
have
kind of
good defenses, yeah.
they've really smashed some. They've smashed some bad teams too. Don't no doubt about it. And Wilmington 7-8 to the under, including 2-5 to the under as an underdog, and Charleston 5-8 to the under as a favorite. Again, those games where they beat some teams up pretty handily and really held them down. They've dominated some teams because they're a pretty awesome team. In fact, I was kind of looking. I have not found it because my books kind of limit the options of one. And I'm not saying they're going to, but to me, maybe I mentioned it already about how much I like them, right? Because I want to get on them to win the national championship. I don't think they're going to win the national championship, but I mean, I think they could be that team that sneaks into the Sweet 16 or something where you'll get plenty of hedging value on a team like Charleston right now. I mean, they've got to be upwards of 200 to 1 or better, I would think, at this point. So Scotch likes them. He really likes this team. Certainly as well. So, but I think over Mindy. Here's the thing: mentioned the teams kind of have those unders, but Charleston 4-2 to the over on the road. Wilmington 4-2 to the over at home. Interesting that Wilmington has only played 6 home games so far. They're 14-3 straight up. We know Charleston is on that long winning streak, and they're 16-1 straight up. Let's go over this pretty sizable number, but I think it can be a game where both teams reach the high 70s here for sure. Let's go over in Charleston and Wilmington in the game of the day.
And Charleston with that national ranking, that's pretty sweet too.
Yep, great job. They are oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. The fact that they have that international flavor and everything. That's what I like in in mid-major teams that can make runs. So we'll mention one game here with Carl giving a pick out. Well, he's got his other pick up there, but that's a game we're going to preview in just a moment. But he is giving us a pick here to look at with Richmond and Davidson. Didn't make our preview, but let me see. I did make a note. I agree with you, Carl. I agree with you on that, actually. So, not that makes you feel any better or worse, but it's not a play on the show here. Okay. Let's take a look now at Creighton and Xavier in this one. Mindy, can your Blue Jays, up and down certainly right now. And here I'm showing Xavier certainly is favored. They're down to 2.5, and the total's up to 152.5.
Yeah, this one, how I have it modeled, it's virtually a tie everywhere, that I look, right? That's the total and for the side. I mean, I basically have this a 76-75 game. I'm taking the plus points in this one with Creighton. They are 1-2 on the road. Xavier 4-4-4, 4-4-1 at home, so nothing spectacular at home versus the spread here. Underdog is 16-5 in the last 21 meetings. They got pretty embarrassed there by UConn. I think Creighton comes back in a little spot here. I'll take them plus points.
Okay, Mindy will come back with Creighton in this one. Looks like the move is a little bit to Creighton. Like I said, it was 3. Scotch wants to come in on the under here. And while I don't agree with Mindy, I guess I don't agree with Scotch either. That's all right. It's kind of a goofy game a little bit. definitely have some teams that have been had some ups and downs, but for me, I think I'm going to look for this one to go over the total. It's a pretty big total there, no doubt about it, at 152 and a half. So I'll have to, uh, you know, fight that big number. But there are some pretty significant trends that indicate that these two teams have been pacing up. Certainly, most of them in Xavier's favor. They're 12-4 to the over this year, including 8-3 to the over at home. Creighton's definitely a team that kind of trends under on the road, as you mentioned some of their numbers. So, but I'm going to go over in this one, 152 and a half. So, yeah, not much agreement one way or the other. Dave says he does like Xavier in this one. Creighton looked terrible versus UConn.
Yeah, Creighton did the let's keep it close, then let's get out to a lead, and then let's only score 2 points the latter half of that game. So UConn went on that 14-2 run, pretty much sealed the deal for Creighton's fate in that one.
Well, it brings a segue then for us, because here comes UConn. And look, UConn has overachieved, no doubt about it. But still, if you look at their numbers, I mean, they're one of the few teams that are, among the top teams in the country, I think, with inside, I want to say at least the top, I'll say 15. It might even be top 10 in both adjusted offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. And no other team in the country, I think, can boast that right now. And here they are going to take on Marquette. A pretty tough game, though. Connecticut, 2.5, 147.
I'm going to give the home team a try here in this one. Home and plus points. I really think that they're going to be fired up here for this one. UConn has had their number. So maybe a little bit of extra incentive here as well. UConn just not really playing well on the road either. Only 2-2. Marquette 6-4 at home. Eagles 4-0 in the last 4 here against the spread. I'm going to take Marquette plus 2.5.
Hi, TJ's here. Good to see you, TJ. Thanks a lot. Crush says UConn will win this one. Does that mean a cover as well, Crush? And also, Butterscotch says he does like the over in this one with these two teams. I'm going to, I kind of agree with Butterscotch, but since Mindy's on Marquette, I want to be on Marquette and give us a second premium here in the colleges. Both teams are, we know Connecticut's been awesome. They've covered a lot of numbers too, but I will note Marquette is 4-0 against the spread as an underdog so far this year. They're 13-4 overall. They've only been an underdog 4 times. So I think we want to go with the points here. Dave says he does like UConn, though, here as well. Crush does see it as a close game here. So I don't mind a close game. And we're going to take the 2.5 points here. Maybe I'll even sprinkle a little money line, but I think in the premium consensus will be plus 2.5 here in this one. So maybe a little bit of a disagreement here with us and the chat a little bit, but Mindy and I are on Marquette. All right, Baylor and West Virginia out in Big 12 country, Mindy. In this one currently, I'm showing West Virginia is up to a 1.5 point favorite, total 147.5.
Another real good one. Excited to see how this one's going to turn out, Ramon. I mean, I'm going to go over the total, though, of 147.5. I actually have this modeled out at about 154, so it gives me a little bit of leeway here.
A premium.
Right. But it doesn't quite make it in other aspects. So that's why we're going on a free play here. It's one of those that, Baylor has 115 possessions here. Not possessions. I can't think of the right word. Points per 100. And West Virginia has a 111 per 100. Ohio State is the highest in the nation of 119 per possession. Over is combined 9-0 for the last two teams here. For both of these teams. I'm having trouble with this one. They're combined 9-0, these two teams, in the last 5 games to the over.
I like that.
It was hard to get out. Sorry.
Well, no, I like that because I want to go over as well in this one. You mentioned it. Also, I'll throw in that, well, West Virginia, they are a slight favorite. So I think I can throw in the fact that they are 7-2 to the over as a favorite this season, and Baylor 4-1 to the over on the road. Both teams combined 19-11 to the over this season. I'm going to take the over in this one with you, Mindy, here. As far as the side, looks like the chat seems to be in unison here on Baylor. I'm not so sure. Baylor hasn't won. They've only played twice on the road so far. Now they've got to go all the way up to West Virginia. Both teams are 10-5. West Virginia 7-1 at home. Yeah, they played some cupcakes. 7-1 at home this season, and just Baylor's third road game. They're 0-2 on the road. So, but I will take the over with you, Mindy. So we have a premium consensus in this one with the over 147.5. All right, another good one here with Middle Tennessee and Rice makes our card today. And Rice is, well, it's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em now, and the total 146.5.
I think I'm going to go under the total of what did you say, 146.5 here?
Yeah, pretty solid.
You know, these teams have kind of been over teams statistically, but both have really nice defenses. I mean, if you look at Middle Tennessee, I mean, they're holding their opponents to 63 points a game. So I mean, I think they should limit the Owls here from that offense. I mean, the Owls score 78 points a game, but only allowing 63. There's gonna be a little bit of a happy medium in there somewhere. So I think it's going to be under the 146.5.
All right, Mindy goes under in this one in the game between Middle Tennessee and Rice, 146.5. I was expecting a little bit more pace, I think, here. So probably not going to be joining you in this one, Mindy. So I'll look at the side. I'm going to end up taking Rice here at home against Middle in this one. Look, it's obviously a tightly contested game, but I think at home for me, I just want to take Rice in this spot against Middle. I just want to check one thing here, make sure, because a little bit concerned with that little slight one. I know it's just a 1 point tick, but just want to see where that game was moving. Because all right, no, I feel pretty firm about it in this one. I'm gonna end up. Blake has a pick in this one. He wants to go under with you, Mindy. So we note that. Yeah, man, I get it. I definitely was leaning over. Looking at it now, I mean, you see some of the trends to this game all point over, but you're so right about what you said. Man, I'm just gonna go on Rice. Just to be sure, they're 8-1 at home this season. So Middle Tennessee's 1-5 on the road, and it's a pick 'em. I'll take Rice.
Yeah, I like Rice as well.
Yeah, not. Yeah, I'm not even too sold on it. Wasn't going to make my card, but man, those trends to the over are so big in this game with these two teams. All right, what is Crush saying there? Oh,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Right. Yeah. Well. Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank
So I
you.
wrote that down, so we got
Okay,
it.
great. Good. That helps us. If you guys
Yeah.
can come in, Mindy and I, hem and haw, or Mindy, Mindy hems and haws. Well, we're picking our games certainly, and like I said, we kind of like to go off the board a little bit. But we don't mind some of those games. If you have the recommendations, we'll do all of your guys' plays. I mean,
Yeah, no matter what it is.
no doubt about it. I mean, it could
Give
could
us
be
your favorite team, whatever.
Sacred Heart,
There
every
you
time.
go.
Okay. Hey, comment there. Tony Livernessy's here today. Good to see Tony, and also Rodney Barton joining us in the chat. Good to see Rodney as well. Maybe he already commented. I missed it, but I will say this, Tony. I'm not gonna give out the total here opinion on this one because I want you to watch my leaderboard video on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, and it'll also be loaded up on the Tony's Picks site. So do me a solid and look at that video where I have the pick on the total in the Louisville-Clemson game. So
Nice. Good
yep.
segue, Ramon. Good segue.
Yeah, that that covers me a little bit. And, okay, Nichols and Lamar.
All right, we
Okay,
got it.
I love it. Love it. Nichols and Lamar. Cardinals in that one. No, I'm not picking the game yet. Thurman says, how about TCU and Texas?
We're
Stay
getting to
tuned.
that one.
Yep. Stay tuned, you guys. That's coming up in just 2 games. We got one we're going to flip on here before that. Okay, and here it is. Missouri and Texas A&M. A&M is a 4-point favorite, 151.5, just like it says.
Yeah, I'm going to go and take a total here in this one. I mean, Missouri's been pretty wild this season. So is Texas A&M, starting off really slow, maybe hitting a little bit of stride here as of late. But I'm going to take this one under the total. A&M plays pretty stout defense, and they also have that pretty slow pace of play. They've held their last 3 opponents to an average of only 61 points per game. It's one of those that Missouri will score. But I don't think it's going to be close to their 80-point average that they've been putting up. Aggies 6-0 to the under at home. Missouri trends, to the under versus a team with a winning record. So let's go ahead and do under today.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, Missouri, a lot of that day, a lot of those games they were at home playing some pretty sad sack teams a little bit, running up some numbers a little bit. So they've gone over in a lot of games, but just 1-2 in their in their road games so far. In fact, one of them came against Arkansas 2 games back. So Dave wants to come in on A&M here. I believe A&M may have taken some steam. Let me just check real quick. No, not necessarily, but you do see the move a little bit here. It looks like to A&M. It opened as low as 2.5. Looks like a pretty public side. That does bother me kind of a little bit. Scotch says he wants Missouri here. That's the way that I was kind of looking, actually, because Missouri does get some numbers on the road, certainly. Missouri 3-0 against the spread on the road so far, and 4-1 as an underdog. So probably going to go with Scotch here, and I'm going to take Missouri in this one. Yeah. We'll see. A&M might be able to put up their own numbers here against us. So I know what you're saying, Mindy, that Missouri kind of took advantage early on. Maybe that's why all their numbers are up pretty high. So I'm going to go on Missouri. Mindy's on the under here. Yeah, let's just do that.
So did you know Cameron Tyson? Was he from your area? I can't remember.
No.
Okay. I thought you had talked about him before being maybe from San Diego, moved up to Seattle. No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
San Diego State's got a player that came down from Seattle.
That's what it is. Okay.
But Cam Tyson definitely is. We talk. Oh, was Seattle on this?
No, it's not. He Crush just said he likes Seattle. And that's why I was thinking that.
Because I didn't even think they were on the board though today.
No, he just said he was going to ask about some other teams, but his team is Seattle, so we can preview them next time.
Okay. Well, yeah. Crush says. I see. I was going to ask about some other teams. That's funny. I didn't know you guys watched all the teams. I think is what he's all the teams. And like I said, I mean that's the fun thing about the ESPN Plus, right? It just right through, and it's mostly, you got your ESPN and ESPN2, ESPNU, and all those on the other screens, and then I just keep a couple of screens ESPN Plus because you could just keep whipping through the closest games. And the best thing about it is, you might have the games you have the bets on or whatever, or the fact that it shows how much time is left and what the score is. You might already know, but I mean, if you don't, you just go to the screen and it says it right there, and you're like, oh, there's 3 minutes left in this game, but 5 minutes left, and I'll go to the one that 3 minutes is left, and that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome for $10 a month. You think for $10 a month, though? I mean, I got to subscribe to the regular to get ESPN for $10 a month. Why isn't ESPN regular just included in that? Right. I know it's already the most expensive cable network. I mean, I believe on average ESPN costs $5 of your if you use cable or the streaming services, it costs like $5 of that bill. But why wouldn't it just be included in that $10? Okay, enough. That's a rant. Okay, here's TCU in Texas. Here's TCU in Texas. People are asking about. So TCU has taken widely reported steam in this one today already, Mindy. Right now, it is Texas 6.5. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's gone down.
Like I said, it was 5.5. It opened as high as 7, and now it's all the way down. It's went all the way down to 5.5. Right now, it's 6.5. So it's steadied, if you will. I'd almost throw the steam out the window. 6.5, 143.
Yeah, I mean, I do not have Texas covering this -6.5 here. It seems way too big of a spread tonight. More like a 1-2 point game here, I think, in this one. TCU 7-2-1 against the spread, 2-0 on the road. Texas 3-7 against the spread, 5-5 at home. Road team here is also 4-0 head to head in this matchup. Give me TCU in the points.
Well, I can't like TCU after what we saw Monday. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Wrong thing. I'm going to agree with you, Mindy. I'll take TCU in this one. I mean, they're playing really good. They're playing well. No doubt about it. I don't know if Texas is getting enough numbers for me to be interested at all in laying any points here. 6.5 looks kind of juicy now, considering that 5.5 was up there. You got TCU 3-0 against the spread as an underdog so far,
Right.
and Texas just they've been favored in every game so far this season, and they're 6-9 against the spread with their 13-2 record. What does that say to me? It says they win the games and they don't cover the spread.
Right.
So I'm going to have to be with you here. TCU not just 3-0 as a dog, but they've also covered 7 in the last 10 games. Let's take TCU today in this game against Texas. The steam did come in also on the over here, but again, it's another one where it was as high as 145.5, dipped back down, and then they steamed it back up just to 143. This one could have some points, I would think, especially it's the way TCU goes about it right now. 150 points seems very possible in this game. All right, that's it in college, unless dare I say, unless anybody. I know there was one game I just threw out a pick out there, and I didn't give you a chance, Mindy, on that. But it actually wasn't an ask of a preview of a game. It was just, somebody had suggested a play, and I agreed with it. We didn't do a preview of it. I don't think they didn't ask necessarily for it. So, okay, but again, I appreciate the facts, and again, if you guys want to start looking ahead every day before the next shows at the next day, we'd appreciate it. Actually, it would feel really nice to, be able to cover the games that you guys want to cover, not just the ones we're picking. We're trying to pick good games that maybe Tony's not going to cover, but sometimes it's unavoidable because some of the games are just too good.
Right.
And sometimes the card's short or something too, but.
And no Mad Bull today, huh? He had his lock with
Let me tell you, okay,
lock.
here's the thing, Mad Bull, because maybe you'll go back and watch the show. Mad Bull and I were actually hanging out in a chat room last night, probably just about, I'll say 6 or 7. I'm saying Mad Bull's probably asleep right now, because Mad Bull and I were on one of the other YouTube channels, talking, not necessarily we were commenting on the show that we're listening to a little bit. I don't know. I'm not going to mention which show it was, but it was a show where the guy is known to rage. So if anybody watches that man, one of my favorites, actually, who I've actually watched for years and gotten shout outs in the chat and stuff like that. And Ramon's a good guy type of thing. But it's a show that goes across that. It's on, one of those bigger channels that is actually simulcast on major radio stations around the country. And Mad Bull was there chatting away, and so was I. So I think Mad Bull is probably asleep. I'm up. I got up like 3 hours later to prep for the show. But that's because I took a little nap before that. But so Mad Bull was around. He was there last night.
He got his lock with his Canucks. plus
We
one
were,
and a half.
we were in the same chat room last night. Hey, and also want to thank you guys. Actually, before we start hockey, want to thank everybody for stopping by in the game day pick show. That chat has really started to peak a little bit. I think we're getting a little bit of flow from here over to there, and I think it's actually making Tony quite happy to have more commenters in the chat a little bit. I think with the nature of Tony's shows, that he hasn't really afforded the opportunity to get involved as much with the chat, and maybe the fact that we've been so able to get something going here and you guys are filing in over there a little bit, and also on the sister network, the drive through show, we're actually having a pretty good chat amongst ourselves, Mindy, and on Tony's side, that show is simulcast not only on the sister channel. Tony's the host, but it also gets simulcast on Tony's YouTube channel, and we've got a lot of our people over there a little bit doing some chat. And again, it's never my intention to take away from those handicappers over there that do such a great job with that show. Really, it's almost the signature show of the two networks, but we just kind of comment about the games, and really what all I do is kind of chat with late breaking injury news and stuff like that, and that sort of thing. I never want to take away from those great cappers at all. But they have a new capper over there, and we share the same last name. And I said, hey, maybe we'll have a team Scott together. So thank you to all you guys that have been going over to those shows. Basically, it's all of our chat right here, to be quite honest, and a few others, but pretty awesome. So Latifah's ready. Everybody's good. Hey, Jeffrey Linton's here. He's ready for Monday night's game already. And we got to go through all those other 5 games before we get there. But man, that game's scary, right? Because how many times have we seen that, Mindy, where that ugly division winner at home in the okay? Hey, Mindy, say hello to Draco
Hello.
Boy. They got bummed out by the Suns. They got burned out by the Suns. Dave says, when is that show? Dave, the drive-through, Mindy and I appear pretty regularly. Maybe we miss a little more action over there now and then, but Mindy and I appear daily on that show, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and noon Pacific time. It's usually just
that's the game day picks with
Tony. Yep. We give basically 3 plays, and we just cover 3 plays and talk about the website, but we're having a good time in the chat too as well. So, all right. Yep, Draco, good to see you here. All right, Mindy, let's get into hockey right now with the Capitals. Going to be taking on the Flyers. I never know what to think about this Flyers team, so I got to listen to what you have to say about it today. I mean, Caps here, a pretty big favorite, of course. Right now, $1.70, 6 over 15.
Yeah, I got the Capitals here, minus 170. Again, one of those big money line plays. They are 7-0 in their last 7 road games. How can I not go with the Capitals here today? I'm taking them. The end.
Okay. I think the price is getting a little bit steep for my liking. Capitals should take care of business here, but the Flyers are trying to get back to 500. The Caps obviously doing a pretty good job, but man, they are playing pretty well right now. I mean, they won. Well, they lost that game to Toronto, but they just beat Buffalo. They beat Arizona and Anaheim. Before that, they beat LA. So I'm gonna probably default to the under in this one. Capitals getting some good goaltending from both these guys right now, Hart and Urson, I think, a little bit. So I'm going to end up going under here with the Capitals and the Flyers at 6, probably 6 at even money, probably 6 minus 105 in this one. these teams don't go over very often. They go under a little bit more than they go over. Not anything too solid, but I will say that Philadelphia is 14-19-1 to the under as an underdog. So, I don't know. I kind of was thinking puck line Flyers, but the price is a little high, and I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
going to
me
go
either.
against you. So I'm going to go under in this one. So no agreement necessarily here with us, but thanks, Draco, for stopping by. Sounds like you've been here all the time. We just hadn't heard from you, and I can't really tell what that interesting uh, avatar is, but it's pretty cool. And Latifa is on the caps here. Scott says take him in regulation. Curtis says capitals. So, and Jeffrey Linton's stopping in today, and he says capitals. So, Mindy, you got a bunch of capitals with you.
All right, let's go.
So, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at 170. You know, and again, it wasn't going to be any lower than that, but never know. Okay, Predators and Maple Leafs here. Maple Leafs $1.95, total 6 over 15.
Well, let's go ahead and take the over 6 here in this one. Predators have won 4 straight, putting up 4.5 goals. Maple Leafs have won their last 2 now and also put up about 5 goals in those games. Over 5-0 Maple Leafs last 5. Over 7-1 Predators last 8 Wednesday games. And today's Wednesday. Looking for lots of goals here. Taking the over.
All right, I get it. I mean, Predators do. Well, they give up some goals on the road. They score some goals on the road. But the thing that troubles me is that Toronto they end up playing some low scoring games sometimes at home. I tell you what, if it was 6.5, I mean, no, we could obviously, it's going to be 6 across the board. So I mean, I can't just make up number. I mean, of course, I
I
can
saw
go.
it at 6.5 on the site this morning.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should just look real quick just to see where it's at.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I guess you're looking at the lines, aren't you?
I'm looking at an odd screen of the two that we have, and one says this is in the back door. I'm not actually looking at the site. I'm looking at the live odd screen. So you could go in there and look to see, but to
Yeah,
me,
it's 6 now, but
yeah.
it was 6.5.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely was.
Okay. I thought you were saying it wasn't, and I was like, well, I had it.
No, at that point, I
Okay.
mean, I'm showing pretty much all the opener. Well, the best of luck sports book was maybe a 6 over 10, and that's where it is now, I believe. But the other one, the other one was 6.5 flat, but now
Okay.
it's 6
Gotcha.
over 15. So I was more interested in an under in an under at 6.5. Not saying I agree with you now that it's down to 6.
I gotcha. Yeah.
That I would go the other way, but I was actually interested in an under at 6.5 because of Toronto and the fact that they do play so many low-scoring games at home. But for me, I'll end up. I think Predators plus a goal and a half for me at minus $1.50 or so is just where I'm going to end up going in this one. You have the Predators are 15-8 as a puck line underdog. Toronto 12-23 as a puck line favorite. So I'm going to go with Nashville plus 1.5 minus 150 here. Scotch is totally against me here. Latifa is with you and wants the over in this one now that it's at 6.
Right.
So, okay. Take a look now at the Oilers and the Ducks. The Oilers are a huge favorite here, 240, 6.5, over 20. It's gone down just a little bit going down.
I'm going to try the over in this one as well. 5-1 Oilers last 6 road games. 7-0 last 7 between the Oilers and the Ducks head to head. I'll take the over.
Well, Mindy, we need some hockey premiums because we've actually been back clicking, I think, again in hockey premium, in consensus premiums. So I want to agree with you here and go over in this one. We did find one on our card it is 6.5 over 20. I get that, but come on, Edmonton, they are a massive over team. We know that. They're 12-7 to the over on the road, 17-7 and 3 to the over as a favorite. Yeah, the Ducks, maybe they're a little bit of an under team and they are at home, but I think the line itself speaks volumes with that. Tony says Oilers a good road team, and no doubt about it. 11-7 straight up on the road, and we know Anaheim. I don't know. Look, they're 12-25 overall, but 8-11 at home. So that's not great, but it's a lot better than their road record. But Latifa here wants Edmonton as well, and she wants the over. Well, Scotch says Anaheim, Edmonton over. So I think we got enough overs here to feel confident about it. Hey, Rick Obermeyer is here. Good to
Hello.
see you, Rick. Pleasure. I don't know if you've been with us before, but welcome if you are. And this is exactly the type of information that we're looking for from our contributors. Oilers are 0-4 in their last 4 versus the West. He wants to take Anaheim in overtime. So, okay, everyone, we can resume the show now. Rapper Capper's back. We've been waiting. We've been waiting, just talking until you come back. Rocco is here today. Good to see Rocco. We're taking the over, and looks like he's also on. Is that Edmonton over 5.5? Is that a team? Oh, Edmonton and over 5.5 is it looks like one of those promo picks over at FanDuel. Is that what is that? Is that what that is? At plus 125 looks pretty damn good. I'll Venmo you some money there and get that nice price. So, all right, we got ourselves a consensus there.
One more play, Ramon. One more. Here we go.
Well, let's see if we can get one out of this one with the Sharks and the Kings in this one. And I flubbed that one up yesterday. I was like, oh man, come on, the Sharks are on the road against Anaheim, against Arizona. They won't. I didn't give it out on the show, but we did lose that one. I think that was one of our losses on the total. We went over 6.5. It was 4-2, I think, is what happened in that one. So what do you got tonight with the Sharks coming in and take the Kings? Kings $1.95, 6.5 flat.
Oh man, Scotch. I was gonna take the Sharks. They're 16-6 versus the Kings on the road. They've scored now 4 goals a game. The last 2. Sharks ranked second in kill percentage here as well. Kings, on the other hand, ranked 25th. I was gonna go Sharks here today.
Money line, Mindy?
Yep, Sharks on the money line. I was gonna take them plus the 174.
Pretty attractive price, certainly. There, Latifa's on the Kings. I'm tired of when I go against the Kings, they end up winning. So I mean, I can't necessarily lay this big price here. I don't think it almost looks like a discount to a certain extent. I mean, I kind of thought $2 or better, $2 or higher would be the price, but I'm going to try the over tonight in the game, Mindy. In this one, I don't know if they can get the straight up win. I think the Kings are looking a little too strong of late. San Jose 26-14 to the over this season, 12-8 to the over on the road, including 18-12 to the over as a dog. Rocco says he likes the way Copley's playing right now. That's been a nice surprise there a little bit. This is a really good price on the Kings in regulation. So, all right, we got one play in hockey. So we've got definitely have consensus today. Mindy, 3 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have 5 in college basketball? Wow, that sounds good because seemed like we're doing pretty good there. Hey, welcome to new viewer, everybody. I want everyone to shout out Rapper Bad Boy Capper, a new viewer here on the show. Maybe related to a couple of our other viewers. So Jeffrey Linton's on the Sharks run line here. Puck line, we know what he means. I know a lot of people do just end up saying that run line. Puck line there on the Sharks. I kind of agree with that one. actually. So even though Mindy did take
We
money
could have got
line,
a play, Ramon. We could have got a play. I could have just
yeah, we could have. I could have
downed
went
it.
money line with you, but like I said, I went
No, I
with
mean I
for
could
some
have played
reason.
the 1.5 and not had a
Well,
problem with it.
well, right, but we want to be fair to everyone, and not manipulate it in that way. But again, like I went with Edmonton over the Kings. Why did I do that? I mean, here come the plays. Mindy's typing them in. Bulls over 230, Timberwolves over 229. That's a lot of overs. That's a lot of overs for me, but that's the way it came out. So head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com, where you'll find our premium picks every day. Absolutely our best picks. Over at Tony's Picks, use the All Cappers tab to get signed up and use the promo code TonyT, saves 20%. There you see the Morning Steam team. If you click on the Morning Steam, you'll see, all of our plays. There's our numbers right there for the year, plus 372. Could be better. The funny thing is we're on that winning streak. We had that one crummy day way back at the beginning of the month, and of course we lost our winning streak 2 nights ago. We were on, a week-long winning streak, but you can see where it is. You can see where that one bad day was, because if you look at the last 7 days, basically up 14 units. So that's speaking of Rapper Capper a little bit, so he understands, up 14 units over the last 7 days. So you can see where that clunker was, Mindy, right at the beginning of was it New Year's? Keep getting that New Year's Day and New Year's Day 2 confused
Right.
a little bit. One of those days we threw in a clunker. So, but there you see all the picks. You can go back and see all of our picks from the last few days, and there it is, Mindy. At the end of the day, so you see, how hot we were, considering we were 9-5-1. There are 4 of the losses right there in the push. I don't mean to show so many losses on screen, but it just shows that we were clicking. And I texted you. I said, "Oh man, Team Steam really coming through today. 6-1 so far." And then there's the last part of the day. But before that, we were definitely crushing it there at the beginning of the night. Here are all those early plays. We won the first 5 or 6 in a row to get the night started. So, all right, Mindy's typing them in here. Here they come.
Yep,
Get
we're
those
good to
on the
go.
screen here with the college basketball. TCU +6, Baylor over, Marquette plus, Charleston over, and Alabama. And our only NHL pick, that one will probably win, over 6.5.
And we only made it to 70 viewers is what I saw today. So one
We
short
did,
of our
huh?
all-time record.
Okay, I missed that, but
Yep. We
cool.
made it to 70.
Okay.
So, all right. Call your friends, get your friends, get them on. Get us over the top.
Thanks everybody for the great
Like and
comments
subscribe.
today on the show. We're going to catch up with you tomorrow, and we're going to do, I think, at least one football. Maybe we were talking about, maybe we could do like the
Early game.
the early game, right? Because the late one on Saturday is a late.
Keep you guys coming back for more on Saturday.
That's the plan. They're gonna. I'm not gonna take it for granted and say they're gonna be here anyway. But I'm just saying, we like to preview it that way. But since Saturday it's like a 1:30 and a 5, we could preview just maybe the Niner game tomorrow, and then on Saturday take a look at maybe the 3 football games for late Saturday, and then the 2 early Sunday, and then maybe on Sunday preview the Sunday night, and then Monday the
Monday.
Dallas and Tampa Bay game. So
we
can squeeze in some college basketball in there and hopefully keep it rolling. So head on over to our website. There it is, tonyspicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on the show. Appreciate everyone. We got so many now. I never do that segment anymore. I rattle off everybody's name.
It would take you like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because that's awesome, and we appreciate everybody coming in. All right, Scotch, Curtis, Dave, Rapper, Capper, Butter, all of you. Latifa, Jeffrey, Rocco, just a couple of them here towards the end of the show is what I'll do. Tony also, nice to see Tony. Rick Obermeyer was here, Jeffrey Linton, and Draco. Appreciate all of you. Carl Anderson, keep coming back with those great numbers. All right. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.